Hey guys, Billy here. I'm a gladiator hunter and this season I've been top 300 in 2v2 and top 200 in the RPG bracket. And in this video I'm going to be doing another commentary where I explain what I am doing as I am doing it. However, this time I'm playing with a Resto Druid instead of a Feral. Comment down below which clip was your favourite, and as always you can subscribe for more hunter content. You can also catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/BillyWobs and I'll put the link in the description. I hope you enjoy the video. Here we're facing Resto Druid Hunter, so I send my pets in on the Hunter and my Druid stuns. Their Druid then stuns me, and then I put Druid on focus and then stun the Druid with a trap follow-up. The Hunter's getting low at this point, so we deal a lot of damage and we get the Druid's trinket and his big heal. I'm low as well, so I BM and then heal, and my Druid's in a trap, but we manage to sit without using a trinket. I then miss kick on the Druid, but we're putting out a lot of pressure on the Hunter, so it doesn't really matter. We also then get a clone on the Hunter when he's low, which he then trinkets. The Druid is now healing him quite a lot with an Iron Bark as well. We're just going to keep pumping damage at this point. The Druid now tries to get away, but my Druid bashes and I get a trap on top of that. The Hunter now tries to kite, but I deal good damage to him and get a crit with Killshot. The Hunter now has to turtle because he's low health and the Druid's still in CC. The turtle is ending now, so I get my Killshot proc, and then I do normal damage to the Hunter. The Druid puts thorns on the Hunter and I kick the regrowth. The Hunter's doing a lot of damage to my pet now as well, and so are the thorns. My pet dies, so I start to res it, but I get kicked. I then decide to turtle and res the pet. My Druid also gets a clone, so I wasted turtle, but we win soon, so it doesn't really matter. My Druid then gets a full clone onto the Resto Druid, and then we can do lots of damage to the Hunter because he has no turtle, and we can kill him before the Druid's out of the clone. Here, the Mage starts to ring, I kick him, and then pop Bestial Wrath to try and chase him. I should have held Bestial Wrath, but I pressed it anyway, but he blinked away. I stun the Mage to get damage out on him while my cooldowns are still up. He then altered times, and I can't purge it. I put a tar trap down so he triggers it. The Rogue then opens, so I instantly sack myself because it's Rogue's cooldowns. I also get jeweled off of that. I then get out of his smoke bomb, then I heal, BM, then heal, so that now I'm completely fine. The Rogue now Cloak of Shadows. This is really good because now I can keep a mark on him and he cannot get out of combat very easily. I kick the Ring of Frost by the Mage and then start doing damage to the Rogue. I then do more damage to the Rogue while he tries to door away. The Druid then bashes him and he evasions. The Druid puts a Vortex down and the Rogue blinds me. My pets are now still on the Rogue and they're chasing him while his evasion is still up. His evasion then ends and then my pets kill him. This game we're facing DK Resto Shaman and my pet was dead from the previous game, so I had to res it at the start. Here my Druid stuns the DK and then he also goes in for a bash, then a clone on the Shaman. The DK insta-pops IBF and then starts to try and run away. He also death advances. This is good for us because we now have his major cooldown and the Shaman is still in CC with my trap as the Druid vortexed him, making it easy to land the trap. We then pump the DK and he uses AMS. This is his last offensive. I'm then kiting the DK and then he grips me in and the Shaman's healing. I then kick the Shaman's heal and pop my cooldowns to do lots of damage to the DK. I stun trap the Shaman and the DK uses his Necrolord grip to grip everyone in. He also then misses breath. The Spirit Link totem then goes down by the Shaman and they almost kill my pet. However, I exile to keep it alive. And then my Druid uses his big heal on my pet. I'm then doing large damage to the DK as he tries to kite away and chase the Druid. I then kick the Shaman on his heal. The Druid stuns the DK into a bash on the Shaman and I can get a trap from that. The DK is now under a lot of pressure as he has nothing left and therefore we can force a kill here. Here we're facing Holy Priest Warlock and the first thing that I look for is to see whether he's running Imp or not, because if he is it means I need to cover the traps with a Hunter's Mark. And here he is running Imp. I now start by putting my pets on the Warlock and doing damage. The Warlock instantly pops cooldowns, so I put a Hunter's Mark on the Priest and then trap him. I then do damage to the Warlock feign death his dots, and then silence him so he can't get too much damage out with his Dark Soul. I then keep doing damage. I don't trinket this because he was silenced for half of it, so it would have been a waste. I then use my killshot proc and try and line him so he cannot get any more damage out. His cooldowns are now ended, so it's a bit safer. And here I get a follow, so I thank Boris for following. I then keep doing damage to the Warlock, and then I get coiled. I then pop one of my little cooldowns, Bestial Wrath, so I do 25% more damage, as do my pets. I then use Cheetah and go in, and then I trap the Priest. I then keep doing damage to the Warlock as my pets are chasing him, and I move out of the Shadow Fury, and then I kick the Fear. My Druid also rakes the Warlock and then bashes the Priest into a clone. The Warlock has walled here, and now I'm kiting him while his wall's up so that he can't do as much damage. My Druid now got feared, so I'm going back to his line, and he gets mind games as well. I try and get the ward off here, but I don't. I get quite unlucky. The Warlock silences the Druid into a coil and big damage, and he almost dies. I then have to stun the Warlock to stop him from dying. I also trap the Priest just to remove his Holy Ward, because I was getting unlucky with the tranquilizing shots. I then feign death to stop some of the damage from the Warlock while we recover. I then put Blade Shot back on the Warlock and try to get Holy Ward again from the Priest, however I'm unlucky again. I now keep doing damage to the Warlock as my Druid kites him around the pillar. I then feign death to slow so that I can actually move, and I silence the Warlock and kick the Fear. I then press Bestial Wrath so I do damage, and I get 2 killshot procs in a row. I get lucky here. My Druid then bashes the Fear, and I bait the Priest death, and the Warlock teleports. I then trap the Door of Shadows, keep going on the Warlock while he fears me. Now I just have to hope that my pets kill him through the drain life. I can't feign death to pets because they're out of line of sight. I go around the corner, and he dies to the pets and my Druid. Here we're facing Rogue Mage, so I go in. The Mage hasn't invis, so I go in and get combat. He then rings me and my pets. I then Bestial Wrath to get my pets outside of the ring, and then the Mage combustions on my pet. The Rogue then does lots of damage on me. I just turtle to get my pet back and make sure that I live. The Druid then vortexes the Rogue to get him off him, and then I can get a mark on him and keep him in combat. The Rogue then Cloak of Shadows and vanishes. This means that my mark is removed and we can no longer chase him, so I have to go back to start killing the Mage. I stun the Mage to try and get some pressure. He instantly trinkets and then tries to ring. He does it too late, however, so I can kick the ring. I then line the Polymorph and keep doing damage to the Mage. He then manages to get the Ring of Frost onto my pets and polymorph me. My Druid is in stealth. The Rogue then opens me, and the Mage gets off a poly. However, because it's on me, it actually heals me, which is fine, as it makes the Rogue do no damage. And then they break the polymorph anyway. The Druid then thorns me, and the Rogue tries to go and get the Druid. The Druid bashes the Rogue, and I trap the Mage. I can now connect onto the Rogue, and the Rogue then shadowy duels my Druid. I then start hitting the Mage while the Rogue is still in duel. When he comes out, I then swap back to the Rogue and start dealing damage to him. He cheap shots me, then into a Dragon's Breath, into a poly. I get the Sword on the first poly, however he then gets the re-poly. I then stun the Rogue, which forces him to then Trinket and Evasion. The Mage misses his Ring of Frost, and then I trap the Mage, the Rogue is running, and then he dies with a few seconds left on Evasion. Here we're facing Holy Priest Feral Druid, so I send my pets in and flare to try and get the Druid out. My pets are now attacking the Priest and dealing a decent amount of damage. I'm not popping any cooldowns yet though. So my pets are following the Priest as he's walking away. I'm also following him. The Priest then jumps down and the Feral opens on me. I then switch my attention to the Feral. My Druid stuns and bashes the Priest. I then trap on top of that, and the Feral mass roots. I use Freedom to get out of the root and then chase the Feral. I then pop cooldowns as well. My Druid vortexes and I get rooted again. However, it doesn't matter that much because I'm on DR. The Druid then goes bear form and starts to kite. I then slow him and killshot. I then stun the Holy Priest into a trap, and then I keep doing damage to the Feral. The feral roars me and then tries to clone, however I feign death it. I then keep doing damage to the druid, and I get feared by the priest and cloned by the druid at the same time. The priest then greater fades, and my druid manages to clone the feral. The priest MDs, but then he reclones and then clones again. This means the feral is now on full DR. The feral then starts doing some damage, and I slow the priest into a trap and then feign death the cyclone. I then kick the cyclone and then start doing some damage to the feral. My druid maims him, gets kicked, then bashes the priest. The feral then gets guardian angeled and fleshcrafts. My druid then gets a full cyclone onto the priest. The druid then follows my druid, and he puts thorns on himself, whereas the priest is just casting holy fire. The feral now gets out of line of sight of the priest, and we have a lot of damage, allowing us to kill the feral. This won us the game.